You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast.
All right, what's up, Punters Dribblers? Welcome back to the Hello Sport Podcast, home of unqualified opinion and unwavering bias, coming to you by the magic of the internet. Edward in Sydney, New South Wales, greatest state and city on planet Earth. Myself, back in the Sunshine Coast, Noosa. They welcome me here. I am the king of the Sunshine Coast, although some of you losers who live up here don't like to say it, but most of you do. They embrace me warmly when I come up here. Eddy, you're back from what looked like one of the more picturesque and absurd New Zealand holidays. I'm still on holidays, back tomorrow. How are you, my friend? Heli skiing.
Heli skiing without the skiing, mate. Heli skiing without the skiing.
Yeah.
Had a lovely time. Fucking glorious to go home. Glorious to be back in the motherland. Motherland?
Yeah.
Yep. Mate, hit the ground running for sure. Andrew, friend of mine, friend of the show, was very kind enough to get that booked in. And it's just like, it was a fucking perfect day. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. We're going up and stopping down on glaciers in a fucking helicopter. First time in a helicopter, actually. Which I enjoyed.
Bit nervy. I'm a bit like,
mate. I was a bit nervy, and I'll tell you, nervy because of like stories and that, you know. But then you get up there, and then I'm like, I'm not nervous. It was a fucking beautiful day. Like it wasn't, you know, it wasn't low cloud into a hill type stuff. It was like glorious conditions, beautiful day. So
visibility was good.
Once I got up there, I wasn't nervous. No, a little bit nervous beforehand, but then when I got up there, I'm like, nah, I'm not nervous now. You know what I mean?
When that video came through, I was like, the last thing I expected when I see the close up of your face was just to pan around to basically you're on top of Mount Everest with a fucking helicopter in the background.
Yep, drinking whiskey, running around in the snow, fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Completely ridiculous, and you know, I was fairly buzzed. I was loving it. You know, you love things more when you've had a few whiskeys, I think.
Hard to disagree with, but I mean, not that I think you need fucking whiskey to enjoy that trip.
No,
that seemed pretty nice.
No, you don't need whiskey to enjoy that trip, Tom. But I'm also not going to beat around the bush and tell porky pies and say that the whiskey didn't add something, because it did. It added something. It elevated it, like not to a crazy level, but there was elevation there for sure. Beautiful fucking, beautiful town, city, place, Queenstown. Fucking glorious. So picturesque.
Mate, some of those panoramic shots that Notch were putting up, I was like, Jesus Christ, like you live it, it's like fucking living in a fairy tale.
It looks like a fairy tale land. It looks like a fake place. Looks like a full-on fake place. Played Jacks Point Golf Club, Tom. Happy to report, probably the best round I've ever played. So that's not nothing.
Yeah, you said in the WhatsApp that you had the round of your life, and then I asked you what you hit, and you were like, you didn't give me a score. So either you didn't keep score and you just played really well, like you just hit the ball really well.
Yep.
Or you score. You didn't end. Where are we here? Because I was like, why would you?
Well, so we were in the spa the night before, and Parso was getting very fucking lippy, and he's like, let's fucking play Ambrose tomorrow. I'm fucking playing with Benny. The loser has to because we did this rope sing thing. The loser, we were trying to come up with like punishments for the losing team. He's like, loser has to wear budgie smugglers off the fucking thing. Like, so you're basically nude doing this rope swing. And I was just like, you know what? I played the other day with Tom and with Sebo and Streety, and we played pretty well. Like I'm trusting my game a little bit more. I'm starting to fucking drive the ball okay. We went out there and fucking crushed those losers, me and Ollie. Like crushed their fucking souls, bro. We would have won 16 of 18 holes match play. Like just one of the most biblical fucking poundings I've ever handed out. Yeah, it was Ambrose. Yeah, we weren't keeping stroke. Doesn't matter. Fucking driving the ball incredibly, chipping well, putting well. It was all came together, and they got absolutely fucking crushed. And it was a reminder to believe in yourself, I think, punters and dribblers. You know what I mean? Like people can come to you talking mad shit, try to get in your head. You start to doubt yourself. But if you believe, anything's possible.
I thought Benny was single digits.
No.
Is that
no,
is that
we're
not?
all, no, we're all shit.
Dude, you know what? Like, after seeing, and I know that we say this a lot, and by a lot, I mean like fucking almost weekly. But after seeing Sebo's round where he fucking won, and he's like, I really want to start like getting handicaps and shit. And after the Scope Golf Day, like you and I need to get out there and become great.
We're too busy.
I know, mate.
Busy, you know.
As I sit here in fucking Noosa, we're much too busy.
We're flat out, mate, and it's always been our downfall. Is that we work too hard and we just don't allow time to do nice things. Maybe one day. I don't know where we'd become members. That's another fucking question.
Well, that's it as well, right? I thought East Lakes initially there was a chance. I know, I'm with you. Nah. Fuck it, but we were talking about it.
We were, fuck yeah, we were talking. 100%, we were talking about it. Then I played it, and I'm like, nah,
too big.
No offense.
No offense. It's much too big, mate. I got off the plane here in Noosa on Thursday, and I'm not joking. I don't know what airport it is, Sunshine Coast Airport.
Yep.
Very short flight, firstly.
Is that Maroochydore?
Bruh, honestly, I have no idea. My wife booked the flights. I hopped on a plane. I got off, and I honestly couldn't have even told you where I was. It was one of the cruisiest little get-to holidays of all time.
It's in Marcoola.
Marcoola,
Queensland. Sunshine Coast Airport.
Marcoola. Is that the right pronunciation? Doesn't sound right.
I don't know. It doesn't feel right. I get, as we're there, they go like, you know, the weather was bad coming in and we knew that it wasn't going to be great, but it was only meant to be for what, you know, first day, bit of shit weather. But as we're coming in, they go, now listen, we don't have a terminal, so you're going to have to walk from the plane to the thinger and it's wet. And I wasn't on a window, so I wasn't really sort of
You mean an air bridge. There is a terminal there.
Whatever.
Yes.
And so I'm like, I don't really visualize how fucking wet it is outside. And I'm carrying 2 kiddie suitcases, a pram. This is all in your future, buddy, by the way, but like a pram, these fold-up prams, you can bring them and carry on, but they have to be in a bag. Like you can't just, I don't know why. So I'm carrying a bag with a pram in it, 2 kiddie suitcases, whilst I'm also trying to make sure that Steph is sweet with the 2 girls who, by the way, they've sit us on separate sides of the fucking aisle. So our girls are having to sit by themselves, terrified, taking off and landing as they're sitting by themselves. Thankfully, a nice gentleman allowed us to switch. Shout out to Mitch.
That's why you got to book your seats.
I get off the plane, bruh. I'm not even joking. And for those of you that aren't watching, maybe like 1.5 inches of water, like flooding the fucking ground and pissing with rain. Like fucking Noah would have been intimidated by this amount of rain. It was shitting down. And
Noah he's a beast, Noah. You know
Noah's fronted up to floods of biblical proportions and he's come out on top.
Yeah, he's come out on top and also saving 2 of everything. You know what I mean?
Everything, yes. Exactly. So not only is he able to survive in the flood, he's been able to thrive.
He's thrived.
He thrived.
Yeah.
This thing was fucked. My shoes were soaked as I stepped off the stairs, and then I'm trying to like wait for the girls to come down. Some lady's taking some of our shit for us. Anyway, by the time we get inside, completely and utterly 100% soaked. 100% soaked. I'm just like, you got to be fucking. And this is like maybe 20 minutes later, I'm seeing a photo of you on a glacier in a helicopter drinking whiskey. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Then we get inside and we go, all right, we're just going to wait for everyone to get their shit. We get our bags and we're like, let's just get changed. We'll wait for everyone to fuck off and then we'll get a cab. We get changed, we get dry. Then I'm like, all right, I'm going to go and find where the taxis are. The taxi rank is like 50 meters from the airport, no cover. Just got to raw dog it to the taxi rank. Then I go out to where like the Ubers and shit are, or like, no Ubers, like courtesy buses. And there's a cab that's dropping someone off. And I'm like, yo, can I just like, I got kids here. We're all fucking just got dry. It's wet as fuck. Can I just get in the cab here? Like, and he goes, no, I can't do it. I'm like, what do you mean you can't do it? And he's like, I'll lose my license. I'm like, so you're telling me, bro, that if you pick me up 50 meters away from where the fucking rank is, with the full context of the fact that it's shitting down with rain and we're like a family here, you're going to lose your license? It's like, mate, can't help you. So now, Eddie, I'm 15 minutes into a holiday. I've just been soaking wet. My only shoes are soaked. And
You took one pair.
Well, Eddie, I wasn't planning on wearing shoes. I was planning on wearing Lasso Clouds, which I ended up getting into. But I had to put my Lassos on because my fucking sneakers were soaked. So now I'm angry. I'm trying to keep calm. I'm trying to keep the vibes high for the family. I now have to go back to them and tell them that, no, we need to walk to the fucking cab rank. It's still pissing rain, and we get soaked for a second time in the space of 20 minutes. So I am now 2 pairs of clothes down, 2 changes of clothes down, completely fucking wet, sitting in another taxi, driving from wherever to wherever the fuck we are now. And I'm just like, what is going on here? What the fuck is going on here? Now, thankfully, the weather has turned and I got sunburned to shit day 2. So, it swings and roundabouts. I'm going to come back golden brown.
That sounds fucking hilarious. When I saw that first video that you put up, I think, where'd you put that? On the stories of it pissing down rain. I'm like, of course it's raining. Every time that guy goes away, it starts fucking raining. Every single time, without fail. It's nice to hear, though, that things have turned for you, because typically a Birmingham holiday would have involved 5 nights of rain.
5 straight nights of rain.
Yeah. Torrential stuff. Again, back to the biblical sense. 5 straight days of pouring rain. Maybe, is it busy up there? School holidays?
Yeah, it is. School holidays finish. What day is it today? Is it Monday? Yeah, so I think today's the first day back at school.
Yeah, right.
But dude, Noosa's sick, man. Like when it's not raining, it's even though when it's busy, it's not that busy. Like you're pretty fucking.
I think it can get pretty fucking busy at like Christmas time and shit. But that's
Oh yeah. No, that would be fucked.
But that's like anything, mate.
Everywhere it's going to get busy.
Everywhere.
Everywhere, mate. So anyway, that's me. I'm good now. I'm good.
You look good, buddy. You look great.
From tequila. Oh, thank you, mate. That means a lot. Been running. Fucking nothing like a bit of holiday exercise.
You've been running around the point there, have you?
Did a bit of run around the point, then I hit the treadie yesterday so I could watch DYOR Opetaia fight. But just getting a bit of Brockmann into me. That cunt's still going, I believe, at time of recording.
He is, yep. Still
Go
running.
donate. Go donate.
Go donate. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Go donate. Go donate.
Over $1 million. 1.5 mil, I believe. Nedd's Uncomfortable Challenge. Shout out to Nedd. Did you see that video he put up of him in the shitters saying it's like 30 degrees outside and like 50 in the toilets?
Yes. Yeah,
that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Nice little protein, carb-filled marathon shit wafting through that thing.
As it bakes in the hot Australian sun, you can fucking belt that. You can fucking belt that.
Yeah.
The great
we probably
man
should have just chopped the roof off.
Yeah, seriously. Because hot air, it needs to escape, Tom.
Yeah.
Typically, it likes to rise. I don't want to get too sciencey with the punter and the dribbler. But typically, hot air rises. And I think if we chopped the fucking roof off that bastard, it would have, and then if it rains, you just get an opportunity to cool down. But otherwise, you just don't want to be hot, really. That's where I'm coming from.
Listen, I think a bit of it's going to rain on you whether you're running or you're shitting, right?
Exactly
I guess
right.
the only problem is
get comfortable.
Needs to be covered.
Well, you get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? And what's a little bit of rain on your head as you do a deuce?
No, exactly. But again, toilet paper just needs to remain dry so that you can appropriately clean your arsehole.
Well, they've got that little which is almost like a little umbrella for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What is the point of that? When not exposed to the elements.
Which it never is. What
the fuck is that thing even doing?
What is that for?
Someone's manufactured that and they're selling it and they're making money and it's for no good reason.
Mate, there's a family out there, right, that own homes right around the world, okay, who live a decadent lifestyle because they invented little fucking toilet paper protectors. But no one knows what they're even doing. Does toilet paper need protecting? No, I don't think so.
I wouldn't have thought so, Eddie. But listen, that's a question for people far more intelligent than you and I.
But yes, go donate to Nedd. The man's fucking almost at 1.5 million, I believe. I think I checked this morning or last time. It was like 1.47. Has he clicked over 1.5? He may have.
I don't know. But he's
do the right thing. Do the right thing.
Kid's still got records in sight. He's got the basically the track 1,000 miles on a track record, which if he is to beat it, break it, then he's also second fastest all time, 1,000 Ks, I believe.
Do you remember what the track record was?
It's 11 and something.
Yeah, that'll be tough. That'll be real tough.
You reckon that'll be tough?
Yeah. Yep.
How long's he got? He's only got like 300. I mean, I know. He's got less than 300 Ks to go.
240 to go.
240, 120, 12 days is... Inside 12 days would be 5 o'clock tomorrow. I think highly unlikely. Not the point, though. The point is...
As in 5 o'clock tomorrow evening?
Yeah. That would be 12 days. 5 p.m. Tuesday would be 12 days.
Yeah. That'll be 12. And it was like 11 days.
Yeah, it was 11 days something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 11 days something.
The all-time female record is like 12 days something, which is a very achievable.
Well, that's not really a record for him to break.
But it's still an impressive mark.
Oh, no, it's a very impressive mark.
It's still an impressive mark.
Impressive mark. I just want everyone to know that.
He can't break it, obviously.
No, he can't break it.
No.
So it's kind of like...
But it's an impressive mark.
Of course it is an impressive mark.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
And I don't want it to sound like I'm not saying it's impressive. It's impressive for a woman. It's impressive for anyone, but it's like, it's the female record.
Yes.
So it does not get me excited.
Well, the physical advantages are reduced quite significantly between men and women over distances like that, Tom. Just
yes.
No,
that's true. No, listen, you're right. You're right.
I'm pretty sure the second best ultra runner on the planet is a woman. So
yeah,
it is an impressive mark.
It is an impressive mark, but it's not a record he can break.
No, it's not. But if it is 11 days something, it's going to be tough for him. Doesn't mean it's impossible though, Tom. Doesn't mean it's impossible because he can run all through the night. Just depends on how much sleep the kid wants because he's fucking earned it. Know that.
He's earned it all right. He's earned it. He's only getting like 2 hours a night.
He was.
Well, yeah, not now. Surely not.
But anyway, donate. Ned's Uncomfortable Challenge. Do the right thing. Do
the right thing.
Punters and Dribblers, today's episode brought to you by 4 Pines Japanese Lager. Now, to say that this lager is taking over the world would be the understatement of the year. The amount of punters and dribblers that are saying, either in Punters and Dribblers group, in our DMs, that the Japanese lager is just changing their lives. It's crazy. Everyone's absolutely loving it. If you haven't turned Japanese yet in that drinking Japanese lager sense, then you best do so because you're not going to be disappointed. Just try me. Just trust me. Try it out and trust me. Trust me and try it out. 4 Pines Japanese lager.
Listen, the world of sport's been a bit, up and down all over the place. Did you see, and I assume that you have, Rocky Elsom's been, there's a fucking warrant out for Rocky Elsom's arrest. 5 years prison they want him for in France for white-collar crime, which is appropriate given the fact that he's a rugby union player.
Listen, Rocky Elsom, who was basically running a club in France from 2015 to 2017, I think. Something like that. He's been charged in absentia, I believe, is because he wasn't there. I believe he's in Australia. Now there's an international warrant out for him. He's in Ireland. He's in Ireland, right. Charged in absentia, 5 years they've given him for being a naughty, naughty, naughty boy. Alleged. Well, not alleged, convicted.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's just say alleged.
Yeah, he was found guilty.
He was found guilty. Of basically paying for... Part of it was he was paying people for jobs that they didn't do.
So what, is he just flinging cash around?
So, he was paying a bloke, he was paying someone in Australia apparently fucking tens of thousands of euros and he never once went to the club.
What's going on there, Rocky Elsom? That's fucking...
And the club, Rocky's basically, reading between the lines here, Rocky's basically caused the club to fold and go into financial administration.
Dude, no, after he left, this is the article I read yesterday, he left him in $1.5 million of debt, and then they quickly dropped to the 3rd division.
Oh, so they're still around?
Well, you may as well not be, but yes.
Well, he owes €1.5 million. I think they want him to pay that back.
And he's dude, he was interviewed like a week ago in Ireland, being like, "Oh yeah, I'm just here rehabbing an injury. You know, I've got my business." He's got like a building company back in Oz that like people are running for him, all this sort of shit. He was one of my favorite fucking players of all time, Rocky Elsom. He was so good. Funnily enough, fun fact: 2 seasons at the Bulldogs. Bit of rugby league about the kid, but the white collarness.
He had two seasons at the Dogs.
Yep. Pre-rugby.
Pre-rugby.
Became one of our great fucking number 6s.
He had a bit of fucking glove about him, Rocky Elsom, from memory.
He did have some glove. He had some floating around on the wing for some reason, scoring tries. Like he could score a fucking try, Rocky Elsom. He was a good player. I don't know if he was much of a leaguey, but he was a good rugby union player.
Big headgear, big glove guy. Obviously a big jobs for the boys guy as well, Rocky Elsom.
Yes. I don't know if he was a headgear guy.
I think he was. Maybe not.
I remember him, maybe he mixed and matched Eddy. I don't know if it's important, but I remember him not having a headgear. But I do remember him being a glove guy. Possibly even like post the glove era.
I think he was like a late glove guy. Was he not a headgear? I'm getting confused. Did he wear like black and green gloves? I've just got colours in my mind.
I've been wearing black ones. I can't see black and green.
Okay.
And are you saying headgear, Tobler? I don't trust anything Tobler.
Headgear.
Yeah.
No.
Tobler, I think it's probably worth as well. Just Tobler had one of the worst episodes of DYORing of all time last week. And
he did.
We've never received more messages, to be honest.
Which one?
So there isn't a test match in Canberra.
There isn't a test match in Canberra. That is just a prime minister. It's like a what's it called? A tour match. Humidity at 100% is just rain. There was a fuckload. So anyway, listen, Tobler's DYOring, not to be trusted. Well, that's not surprising. No headgear, that makes sense. But dude, like former Wallabies captain, white collar crime. I was before they announced it, I was like, I wonder who the fuck it is. I didn't have Rocky in my mind. I honestly didn't have Rocky as much of a corporate fat cat sort of operator.
Well, are you suggesting because of the leaguey in him, or that's been whipped out of him through years of exposure to the white collar world? Well,
it's certainly the leaguey crime isn't one of white collar usually, or if it is, it's like a different type of white collar, but it's not really white collar.
Typically, you won't see a leaguey throw an old proud club into financial ruin. You typically won't see that.
I wouldn't have thought so. Leagueies, it's hard to know the leaguey scandal. But again, this is like sort of more high-powered. The leaguey scandal doesn't often, at least from memory, reach the corporate level, the C-suite.
No, it doesn't. No. I can't think of a leaguey scandal that's reached the C-suite, personally. I would argue very few leagueies are on the board of anything.
Well, they are in Australia. They are. Former league players can fuck up a salary cap or like,
true. True.
True.
That is true.
But they can meddle. They can meddle in sort of like, governance issues or they start to like want to dictate how the team should be run.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. They can certainly sit on a board. It's more the C-suite. It's the day-to-day operations you typically won't see a leaguey involved in. For rightly or wrongly, you could argue off the back of this Elsom incident, wrongly. Maybe we do need a bit more leaguey in there. I'd love to know how many decadent lunches Rocky racked up.
Oh, yeah, racked up's the operative word there. What about also like just being called Rocky at a board level? I think is something that you're probably unlikely to hear most of the time.
Was he?
And maybe that's an indicator of things to you should have seen that coming.
Yes, as in this guy's name's Rocky, and he's running a club.
Yeah. Exactly, and a building company back in Australia, and he's called Rocky.
And he's called Rocky. I think let's not look past the obvious or the most glaring, and that is that his name's Rocky.
And he
name's
played
Rocky.
two. And he played 2 forgettable seasons for the Bulldogs. Like, you need to be like, is that on his resume? Do you guys look through all this shit?
Well, you're suggesting this needs to be put back on the club a little bit. You've made a poor decision in hiring Rocky Elsom, given that there were signs there that you've either overlooked or you haven't done your due diligence to uncover.
Your DD.
Either, you are negligible in some respect.
Because the thing is, I don't want to throw this back on rugby league because, as we've just discussed, rugby league and the C-suite white-collar crime, not a thing. Hand in hand. Not a thing. So it's not the Dogs' fault. I don't think it's rugby league's fault.
It's definitely not rugby league's fault.
And you could understand a club going, well, this guy was like one of the greatest rugby players on the fucking planet at one point and captained the Wallabies during at least a relatively decent period. Whilst it yielded 0 bleds,
but that's always been, Tom. That's always been the Achilles heel of rugby union, is the naive assumption that just because you played rugby union at a high level and you were a fucking great player does not mean you are an administrator of a club.
Yeah.
70 caps does not make a CEO. You know what I'm saying? Which is they've always fucked that one. They've always fucked it. They're going, oh, you played for the Wallabies. You can fucking run a club financially. Like you played for the Wallabies. You must be a chartered accountant. No, not always. Not always.
No. In fact, less likely than you might think.
Well, this is a tip for fucking rugby union, the rugby union world. You're only a chartered accountant, okay, if you study to be one.
Yeah, right. You've got to pass there's like a specific thing you pass, right?
That you've got to become a chartered accountant. And just because you convince people over some Chinese and some rack that you're the man for the job doesn't mean you are. Doesn't mean you are.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But like you can see how you can be convinced.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I can see how it happens.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But you've got to.
I can be convinced of many things with a bit of Chinese red wine and rack, you know what I mean? Like you can get me to believe it. You can get me to believe a lot.
Yeah. I think you shouldn't be making decisions under those circumstances. You need to wait for the dust to settle, review it in the cold light of day and go, am I going to hire this bloke because of a chat we had at 4:30 a.m. back at his apartment? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah. Over a pack of darts and some fucking leftover Jim Beam he had in his cupboard on the rocks.
On the rocks. And then he ran out of ice.
Yeah, then he ran out of ice and we just sort of started. We just put it in the fridge. Yeah. Listen, it's a fair question. I don't know. Can you please look up, Tobler, Ireland's extradition sort of laws around France and Ireland? Is he
Northern Ireland or
again?
Ireland,
I don't know.
Or Ireland proper?
I don't know. Because Ireland, again, which part of Ireland, but like no longer in the EU, re-Brexit? Am I wrong?
Well, that's Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland, which is part of the Commonwealth, which is part of Great Britain, is no longer part of the EU, but Ireland is.
So if he was in Northern Ireland.
So as a member of the European Union, Ireland maintains an extradition treaty with France, with the prison term of Elsom's sentence meeting Irish threshold requirements.
So he's in Ireland proper. He must be.
Yeah.
So he's going to get extradited 5 years, dude.
He'd be appealing the fuck out of that.
He's in Dublin.
Whereas Belfast, I believe, is in Northern Ireland. Anyway.
He resurfaced 7 days ago giving an interview to the Island's Sunday Times, and he told the newspaper he was employed by the Catholic University School in Dublin as a rugby coach until December. And he's believed to have been on Irish soil as recently as last week.
Would he have been extradited from Australia?
Probably. Although, I mean...
Because I'm like, listen, if you know that this trial's going on, and surely you've looked up the extradition rules between Ireland and, or laws rather, between Ireland and France, I don't know if I'd just be
milling about
that close.
Yeah. I'd be fucking off, to be honest.
Fuck
Again,
yeah, bro.
I'm not a white collar criminal, but were I to be one, I like. If you're like, and I'm not saying that Rocky is here. This is all still before the courts. But let's just say Rocky, a known white collar criminal, he knows what he's doing. He's been.
Well, he was found guilty of it.
Yes, I know, but he might be able to go and argue like, I didn't know that fucking mistake, blah, 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 accident. Let's say this guy's actively, intentionally out there fucking committing, WCC.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be I'd know where I should be going so that I'm sweet.
Yeah,
that's where I'd be.
I'm going to Panama or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to Panama and I'm going to fucking put the legs up.
Yep.
And I'm gonna coach rugby out here.
Yep.
They got a great program.
Go to Argentina, Go to Uruguay. There's places you can go, Rocky. And I just think that you're a hop, skip, and a jump from France in Ireland, mate. Like you're just there.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It's probably a 20-minute flight. Like, what are you doing? You got to be smarter than that, Rocky. You've got to be.
Australia does have a bilateral extradition treaty with France.
I'm not surprised by that.
Not surprised.
That does make sense.
It does. An old ally of ours. Unless it comes to submarines, then we're like, fuck you, bro.
Well, we don't love that. Shout out to ScoMo.
Shout out to Rocky. Shout out to Rocky Elsom.
Yeah. Shout out to Rocky.
Was definitely named after Rocky Balboa.
Well, possibly. You would think so. It's a pretty badass sports name, Rocky. Like, if you call your kid Rocky, they have to make it. They got to do something pretty fucking.
When did Rocky come out? Rocky 1.
80s, I'm going to say. He won an Oscar for that.
1976.
76.
And when was Rocky born? Rocky Elsom.
1983.
There you go. I reckon he's definitely his old man's a huge Rocky fan.
So he'd only be 41, Rocky, given my math. Pretty good math of me.
Yeah, he is.
He's not that old.
No.
5 years. Jesus Christ.
He's only 6 years older than you.
I know. That's what I mean. Which just feels weird. Again, athletes always feel older than you, even when they're younger than you. Yeah, dude, fucking Stallone won an Oscar for Rocky 1.
Did he really?
Yeah. Because he wrote it. I think he maybe wrote it was it the best screenplay? I don't think it was actor, but I don't know. But he won an Oscar and then proceeded to make just the most Stallone movies the rest of his career.
What is Sylvester up to?
He's on a show on fucking Prime or something, or Stan, called The King of Tulsa.
Oh, yeah. He still looks all right, Sylvester. He looks okay.
Well, steroids, Botox, and shitloads of cash will do that, I think.
Steroids and Bowie, dude.
Yeah, dude. That's what it is. Steroids, Bowie, hair dye, cash. Now, punters and dribblers, I would assume that this man is grumpy, given the way that this whole thing's been handled. I'm not sure of it because I don't know the man, and he's made it pretty clear he will never come on the podcast, which I don't hold against him. In fact, we've said it many times. I couldn't have respected him more about the way he told us no.
Mm.
But I would be grumpy if I were Clint Gutherson, given that I've been the heart and soul of my club, the Parramatta Eels, for going on fucking probably almost 10 years.
It'd be mate, you know what it'd be like? So he's the heart and soul of the club. He's been fullback. They've tried to make him play 9, and now they're saying he can look elsewhere. It'd be like in Hello Sports sense, if I said, listen, Tom, we want you to be the designer now, right? Something you just have no fucking skill set in. We're going to need you to be a graphic designer, and if you don't like that, you're going to have to look for another organisation.
You're going to have to move on.
You'd be grumpy about that.
Well, I'd be very grumpy, and I'd go to grumpycoffee.com, maybe.au, do your own research, and I'd have to go and get some of the best coffee in town to try and perk me up, turn me upside down. But I'd be fucking grumpy. And I mean, listen, I don't know if Donk Riles is come in swinging that big old penis of his and he's just trying to clean house. But it does seem a little harsh.
There's always collateral damage when a big, thick Australian penis finds its way into a new club. There just is.
No, there is. You're right. Also, penises of that size, you know, and I'm talking good day bottle sort of shit. This is dwarf this.
Correct.
You know, they're knocking things over.
They're
hard. They're unintentionally banging into stuff, knocking things over, you know, leaving a wake of destruction in their path.
100%. Like a Rottweiler tail, mate. You know what I mean? They're just all over the map, just clearing shit out. That's the donk.
Yeah.
He's going in there, whoop, he's turned around, bang. He's just turkey slapped. He's just turkey slapped Gutho.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily want your leaders getting turkey slapped by the coach. It's not a great look, and it's not great for morale.
No. So I think the Dragons are looking at him.
Dragons. I don't hate that.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate that.
But again, they've got Val Holmes who can play fullback. They've got Tyrell Sloan who can play fullback. Or not can, does. Like Val, maybe not so much. Val might be a winger or a centre, but like I guess Gutho could play centre.
Val playing centre wing for Val's to go.
And then Gutho probably will centre fullback. Because again, anyway, who the fuck knows? Hey, Tobler.
Yeah.
Can you call DYOR Dave, please?
Yeah, I can.
Yes.
He has skipped town. You want to talk about someone who knows where there's no extradition treaties? DYOR Dave has skipped fucking town.
Yeah, so Rocky needs a bit more Dior about him, really.
Yeah. You guys know DYOR Dave's up there. Did you, I mean, I don't know how much news you're reading over in New Zealand, Eddie. I'm assuming none.
Fuck all.
There was a thing in the paper, I think yesterday, maybe it was over the weekend though, where they were saying that at the grand final, Gordy Tallis and Madge Maguire bumped into each other. And it was like, you know, because Gordy's been basically masseuting poor old Madge for getting employed by the Broncos. And Madge was like, oh, g'day, Gordy. Like, hey, Madge was there with his wife. And Tom can get the quotes up. He's like, oh, how you doing, Gordy? Like, you know, we should go for a coffee sometime. Gordy's like, I don't drink coffee and I don't need coaches as friends. Like, all my opinions are my own opinions. I'm not friends with any coaches. Like, fucking da-da-da.
Wow.
I know.
What's that about? But you are friends with coaches because you're literally sticking up for one.
Well, yeah, you're friends with Kevy. But like,
obviously we're friends before that. But it's just, it seems
wild.
It's
wild how much Gordy fucking hates Madge. Or at least how it seems like it.
But what's Madge done? Madge isn't the one that hired himself and fired Kevy. That wasn't Madge that did that.
I've got DYOR Dave on the blower.
Okay.
Do you? All right, get him on.
Patch him in.
Hello.
Hello, David. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. How are you boys? How are the holidays?
Mate, holidays
very
are
good.
Why?
Very good.
Why are you dodging us?
Yeah, why you seem like have you skipped town or something, mate?
I feel like I'm what?
I said, why have you been dodging us?
Oh, well, why do you think? I've been in a period of mourning.
Oh, okay. Where are you? Are you even in the country? It feels like you might have skipped town.
No, I'm in the country. I've been hunkered down. I've been locked away. I've been in my own personal isolation, just dealing with the trauma. But
yeah, right.
I'm making my way back into the world.
Oh, you were that devastated, were you, mate?
I was a bit devastated. Yeah, more than a bit actually.
Yeah. Were you out at the game?
Yeah, I was at the game. Yeah. I was actually. You guys will love this. I was in a Qantas corporate hospitality suite at the game.
Oh, look at you big corporate fat cat.
Wow. There is no way the little lefty communist would have been anywhere near Alan Joyce, who is no longer there,
no.
and a corporate C-suite box even a year ago.
Unfortunately, the big hitters at Qantas weren't there. It was more of a thing to reward their valued customers and members, of which my father is one.
Right.
So I'll say thanks, Daddy, for that one.
Yeah, seriously.
So Daddy flies a
lot. Bit of Nepo baby about you there, Dave.
Little bit. Look, it made me feel better that at least I didn't have to pay for the tickets to see my team lose.
Well, that's a good point. What was the first thing that flashed into your brain when you did? Did it have anything to do with pubic hair?
When we lost, the first thing that flashed into my mind. Yeah. It was exactly what you think it is, which is I'm assuming why I'm on the phone here.
Were you hoping that we'd forgotten and that the whole punter and dribbler community had forgotten, which is like impossible? But was that your hope?
I mean, there was a part of that, but I knew because I listened to the episode on Thursday before the grand final where you mentioned it there, and so I knew you hadn't forgotten. I was just taking my time and just waiting. Play hard to get. Let you guys come to me instead of me coming out there.
Yeah, I get it.
But even like the week or two before, because when I made the bet, I was so confident, and like Cleary was injured and whatever, and before the final series started, I was like, sweet, we're in. Then Penrith started fucking humming in those first couple games, and then I was getting really worried, and then Nelson got suspended, and I was very worried, and that's when the silence, I think, started.
Yeah.
But that's you're not as wily as us, mate. The fact that you agreed to that was absurd in the extreme.
Yeah, that was absurd.
It seemed right at the time, and I was close. Look, I was within 12 points. If they hadn't have scored that try just before halftime, we win that game.
Yeah, right. But
I was 41 minutes away.
Right, but you don't win that game, and you will be smoking a giant cone of your own pubes, which is fucking disgusting.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm a man of my word, if nothing else. I'll accept my punishment.
You've got to be a man of your own word. You have to be.
There was a documentary like maybe 10 years ago, I reckon, maybe longer actually, and it was on Ben Cousins when he was going through all his dramas, and the club was trying to drug test him and do hair follicle tests, and he came in to do it, and he'd shaved off all of the hair on his body, his eyebrows, eyelashes, head was bald as shit, and I'm just like, I'm waiting for Dave to come into this fucking cube cone bet, and he's just got a little bald duck dick down there, just completely beating those stuff.
Yeah, then you've got to smoke Tobblers.
Oh, okay, no. All right. No, okay. Don't worry, I'm definitely keeping mine then. I'd rather it be stuff from my own body going back into my body. Who knows what fucking diseases I'll catch smoking Tobblers pubes.
Oh, mate, I'll shampoo them for you.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, mate. Conditioner as well?
Whatever you want, mate.
Yeah, perfect.
It's
maybe dye them as well. Get a bit of flavouring in there.
Well, that might actually be better for you. That's going to be more in line with your commie values if it's blue pubes. So maybe you dye.
Yeah. I'm sure the chemical of like hair bleach will be really nice in my lungs as well.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good for you.
It's absolutely disgusting. So when are you going to do this, mate?
That's as I guess winners of the bet. I think this is up to you guys to decide. There were talks in the Baggy Green members group chat of it being at the summer solstice lunch. But yeah.
It's something where like it's so disgusting, right? It is so, like I even said to Eddy that other day. I'm like, dude, it's so fucking rogue. I almost don't want to enforce it. And which he quickly reminded me that a bet's a bet. And
no, bet's a bet. Yeah.
I don't think I mean, the solstice could be a good place to do it. I don't know whether it's something you want to like have online necessarily.
No, unless it's under the paywall of like the Hello Sport OnlyFans channel or something.
Yeah, which you probably still have access to.
Yeah, I think I've still got the login. Still subscribed to Tomic's ex-missus.
All right. Well, we'll have to work out. We've had two good wins in bets so far this year, Eddy, between Cody with the huge pants and DYOR Dave's cone.
Yeah, I know. It really is it mixes up what happened last year. I know. I was riding high off that bet. Cody was probably riding high off Tobbler winning. Fuck, yeah. Cody's rough, though. I reckon Cody got closer than I did to winning that bet.
Yeah, dude,
well,
he did.
It was 20
sat
seconds.
Down too much. Yeah.
He sat down too much.
Yeah.
He didn't wear a watch. He didn't take his phone. The guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Raw dogged it. But, yeah, if Cody is serving his punishment, then I think I need to serve mine.
There you go. Respect that.
Yeah.
Respect that.
Us and a Westie stick together.
Yeah, exactly. Are you? So I assume that means that you're in for the Baggy Green long lunch.
Of course. Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, excellent.
I'll be there. I look forward to being there, not in a working capacity. I can join the plebs on the other side.
You never did work anyway, mate. Let's be honest.
Well, that's true. That's true. I think I just came and ripped and teared at the one that I didn't even come to the last one. So yeah,
exactly.
You did absolutely fuck all. But okay, but I get your point. I get your point.
Yeah.
Right. All right, Dave. Yeah. Well, lovely to talk to you, mate.
Good to talk.
You too, boys.
See you, mate.
Yeah. Enjoy. See ya. Thanks for the call. Bye.
DYOR Dave there, sounding absolutely devastated. And I would argue a little petrified of the fact that he's going to smoke a cone of his own pubes. He accepted the bet. He was too confident. and he believed too greatly in a side that just wasn't up to it.
No. Unlucky for Dave there. Anyway, shout out to Gordy and to Mads. That one seems to just be something that will continue to simmer for at least next year. While we're on rugby league, Eddie, Shaun Johnson returning for the Kiwis. Just a nice storyline. Shawnee Johnson, he was retired, and then every single half they had gone down. Jerome Hughes out, and Shaun has been parachuted in to the is it called the Pacific Championship?
Yep. I think that's beautiful, mate. Have they made him captain?
No, that's Fisher Harris.
Oh, okay. Both fair. Both reasonable. I like that for Shaun. Parachuting back in. Was he keeping fit? I bet he was fucking blowing out.
No, dude, he said on his podcast the name, which escapes me, Players Lounge. I'm just saying that. I don't know if that's it. He was like, if they called me and asked me to do it, I'd do it. So I think he was sort of, why the fuck do I think the Players Lounge? What the fuck is that? Play on sports?
Play on sports.
Right.
You got the play part.
I did get the play part. Anyway, he was like, if they called me, I would do it. But it was not really likely. And then it's turned out that it is likely. So now we've got a nice little storyline there. Seeing Shawnee Johnson back. Did you see the photo of Buzz Rothfield at the Acropolis?
No, I didn't. He went to the Acropolis in fucking Athens.
Yeah, dude.
Get
Not like the Acropolis restaurant in fucking.
Who the fuck knows? You know what I mean? You gotta be sure. You gotta be sure. Oh, Buzz. He's got the legs out.
I know.
Wow. Off-season Buzz just living.
Dude, off-season Buzz. Can you zoom in and see what shoes he's wearing? Is he wearing TNs?
They look like ons, are they? I don't even know what the fuck they are.
Yeah, they're the ons.
Are they ons?
Ons.
Yeah.
The runners. He put it up with the caption, breaking, Greece for 18th NRL franchise, Buzz on study tour, more to come.
Oh, so
Nice
he's getting
joke,
creative.
Buzz.
He's getting creative with with his captions.
He just can't take any. They're just married to the game of rugby league.
Just married to the game of rugby league. Ha ha, how funny is this? That's funny because it's obviously not going to be Greece, but I'm saying it is.
I love it. I love Buzz.
That's good.
Love you, Buzz.
Love you, Buzz.
Punters and Dribblers.
Love you,
Punters
buddy.
and Dribblers. Punters and Dribblers. Tickets still available for our big old $1 Million Chase piss up, punt off event this Friday. Wentworth Park Doggies. $1millionchase.com.au. Now, everyone will get a white Punters and Dribblers hat on arrival. The ticket includes food and booze for the evening. Myself, Eddy, Guru, Sebo going to be there. Ryan Pappenhausen going to be there. There is a chance for you to win $100,000 kicking a football into a fucking $1 Million Chase bin.
Correct.
Some dribblers, or a dribbler hit us up. He and 14 of his mates got tickets. They're like their punters club, so they're coming for a big old rip.
Love that. Get your punters groups together and come and have a fucking punt on dishes. This is a layup, mate. This is a guaranteed layup to be a great night. Come, wear your fineries, come get on the piss with us and punt on dishes.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
What more do you want? Links will be in show notes, in bios, wherever you need to find it, but $1millionchase.com.au.
Easy to remember that.
See ya.
That's easy to remember. $1millionchase.com.au.
Yes, this Friday. Now, I'll tell you what else is funny, Eddie. I've come back. I've just got daylight savings in Queensland, and then I've come up in New South Wales, and I've come to Queensland. It's completely fucking thrown me out and reminded me how much I love daylight savings. I'm just like, this is.
So what time is it there? It's an hour before?
So it's 10:05.
Yep, there you go.
Stupid the way they run things.
Idiots.
Absolutely. You know what? Absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Idiots.
But I am still the king of the Sunshine Coast, and that is just...
Any pats on the back up there, mate? Any handshakes?
Oh, listen, mate, there's always dribblers around. There's a couple of dribblers around. I scared the fuck out of some guy in a Punters and Dribblers hat. And just saw him walking around. He didn't even know I was walking on. Fucking love the hat, brother. He's
Came
like,
down
You know, no, I didn't come on him. I didn't scream to come on, mate. There's the, the little subtleties. One dude was doing the guy. He was like at distance away from me, and I'm sort of like I was with the girls, and I wasn't really like it's a busy street, and he sort of just like tipped his cap at me, and I'm like, I can't commit to whether this guy's even looking at me. If I just start tipping my cap at random people on the street, like I'm a fucking freak show. Only once I actually was able to like stare. So I'm just staring at him. I'm like, is this guy tipping his fucking hat at me? And so I'm just staring at this dude. In the end, he was wearing an old fucking summer tan. So he got a little tip back. Some guy is up telling me he loves Good Day, Ed. He just finished his first box.
And loving it?
Loving it, getting more. It's good stuff.
But I didn't take any in New Zealand because I had to get up early for the flight, and I didn't pack properly, and I was a bit all over the shop. It was a fuck up on my part. I got my hand up in the air, and I'm accepting full Australian blame. But you fucking notice the difference when you go off.
You do,
days.
Mate. I didn't, dude. I was sick.
You notice the difference. 100%.
Last week. I was like on maybe Wednesday. I was like, "Fuck, I'm coming down with something again." Like just that little niggle at the back of the throat. You're sort of feeling a bit run down.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Jesus Christ, this is gonna fuck the holiday. Let's have it rain and maybe under the weather. And I just continued to pound my Good Days. I bought it all with me. I bought more than I needed. I bought my Good Day bottle.
Yep.
And it just stops you from slipping into the chaos. It's like, all right, you dip, you're a bit under the weather, and that's as bad as it got. And then I'm back.
Love that, buddy. Love that.
I'm back and I'm sunburned. And that's more than you could ask for.
Well, you sound great. You look great. Nothing to worry about. BeGoodHealth.com.au. Code Dribblers or Dribbler, 20% off. Make smart decisions. Okay.
Make smart decisions.
Punters and Dribblers, guess what is on this weekend? The Everest. The Everest is on this weekend, which is wild, which is crazy, which shows that we are balls deep in spring. No better place to put a bet on than with Nedd's. That's a fact. Get on there, sign up if you're not with them yet, and see if you can just pick a winner out of the greatest sprint on planet Earth this weekend. The Sprinters Sprint. That's the Everest. I'll be betting with Nedd's. I suggest you do the same. If you want to follow along, see what we're up to, join the Nedd's group, Nedd's About Even group. I believe the passcode is Dribblers. Could be Dribbler. DYOR. Otherwise, follow along the profiles. You might even, if you're lucky, you might even see what I'm on in the Everest. Maybe copy it, share it, follow along. Thanks to Nedd's.
Rugby league's over. Obviously, there's the Pacific Championships and all that bullshit, but it's, for all intents and purposes, over, right? For the year.
Correct.
So we're looking, obviously, at your Dogs this Friday, Ponies. Had some good wins on the weekend. Thank you very much to your tips guy. And cricket, Test cricket specifically. Now, there's an opening spot, Eddy, at the top of the order. People have been talking about Travis Head going up. I think I heard Mitch Marsh's name being thrown around. Baggy Green maybe missing the whole series with back surgery. That's how
really
back is. Yeah.
Which would imply someone's got to come in.
Correct. Now, our little friend Sam Konstas, that I was talking about last week.
19-year-old New South Welshman.
Yes, that's right. Got his debut first-class century in the first innings.
Didn't he get a double?
Yes, he did, Eddy. He got back-to-back. One in each innings.
Well, not a double as in like a...
No, he got a century in each innings, his first and second. Now, he is the... I'm going to have to, Tom might have to get this up, but he is only the last person who did that was, Eddy?
Yeah, I do. Phil Hughes, the late great.
I actually think it was Ricky Ponting. Phil Hughes did it in Tests.
Oh, Phil Hughes did it in Tests. You're right. So Ricky Ponting did it. What, the young Tasmanian that could?
The young Tasmanian devil, Ricky Ponting. They're actually, I was hearing yesterday, they're calling Konstas or Kostans. It's a Greek last name. I'm fucking it up. Konstas.
How do you spell it? It's K-O-N.
K-O-N-S-T-A-S.
Konstas.
Yeah.
Okay.
He also went to Cranbrook, I think he had.
Did he?
We won't hold that against him.
Is that right?
Right. Him and the other guy
bit of Ed Cowan about him.
Yeah, exactly. There's only 4 guys I think that have done it, Tobler. Can you just get that up?
So
it's like
5.
the Don.
He's the third youngest to score twin hundreds since Ricky Ponting in 92-93.
Yeah. And it's like the Don, Ricky, this Sam, Konstas, and like some other names
Archie
that I just
Jackson and Jamie Cox.
forgive me for not knowing who the fuck they are.
When did they do it?
Archie Jackson in 1927 and Jamie Cox in 1989.
Right. So basically it hasn't been done since the great Ricky Ponting did it.
Yeah, but the cricketing world's fingering themselves over this kid right now, and quite rightly so.
Is it too early?
Potentially, but I'm not saying you bring him in, but maybe I'm not saying you don't. I tell you what would be.
Does he open this kid?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's putting his hand up, making the right sort of noises, Tom.
You know who got back-to-back ducks? Cam Bancroft.
After a massive year last year.
I know. And then you know who did get a big score? Little Marcus Harris, who loves to get big runs.
The little Harris that could. Is that what we used to call him? What did we used to...
No, I can't remember what we called him, but little Marcus has certainly stuck a bit more. I can't remember what we fucking called him.
Mate, too long ago. Who cares? Point is this Konstas kid putting his hand up at the right time. It's all timing. Life is all timing. Taking your opportunities. Making the most of a position that's now opened up off the back of, if I'm hearing correctly, Baggy Green going down with back surgery required. That means the most logical decision, surely, is to fill the opening spot left by Smudge as he moves back down the order. Now, Bancroft, who had the fucking second most runs in Shield last year, back-to-back ducks, not a good start, bruh.
Nah.
If Konstas, when do New South Wales play again? When's his next opportunity to make his case?
I'm not sure, but I think
Tuesday, 8th of October. Wait, no, sorry,
Right.
that's just gone.
that was 8 days ago, almost 6 days ago, Tom.
Sunday, the 20th of October, this Sunday against Victoria.
Okay.
Against Harris.
Mate, he does it again.
Yeah.
Then you're starting to fucking take serious notice.
I can't remember who the journo was that I saw, but they were sort of like, if this series was against a fucking, let's say it was last summer, New Zealand, and we were playing West Indies or whoever it was, or was it Pakistan and West Indies? But like, that's when it might have been an easy decision to throw someone in there like this. Whereas the might of India, like for your first series, you're up against Jasprit Bumrah and shit, like maybe a little bit too punchy. But then who was the...
19's also very young.
Well, it is very young, but there was a guy who was interviewed in the paper yesterday. He was a former Australian player, and he was basically debuted at 19 and I think got like 150 on debut, something ridiculous. And he's like, fuck it. Just do it. Which I'm like, well, yeah. Like, I also don't mind a new toy,
We all love a new toy. He's going to get tongues wagging. He's going to get people on seat, this Konstas kid, especially if he gets another ton this weekend against Victoria. People will be fucking coming in their pants.
Yeah, dude. And like, new toys are unencumbered by the pressures of the real world. At 19, you don't really understand shit, right?
He's it almost might be the perfect time to get him when he's young, dumb, naive, and just you're right, doesn't know the way of the world. You could almost map this fucking kid's thing out. You could have a breakout series against India, a couple of tons in there, and then he'll go off the boil for a bit and he'll get dropped.
Exactly.
And then you'll go, what happened to Kid Konstas? What happened to King Konstas? What happened to the next Ricky Ponting? But then he'll go back and he'll apply his trade. He might go over to England. You know what I mean? He might do a summer over there.
He'll definitely do that. He'll definitely go over to the English summer.
He'll do a summer over there and then
face the Dukes.
Face the Dukes, Tom. Face the Dukes. And then you'll just hear whispers about Konstas on the comeback Konstas. Yeah. And then he'll come back, cement his place in the side until his retirement. And that's probably how it'll go. He'll be a top 3.
I'm pretty sure that's sort of what happened with Phil Hughes. He came in, fucking blew the doors off, and then they started to work him out a little bit. He had to go back to Shield, ply his trade, hone his craft. Obviously, he was there or thereabouts before he was next in line. He was next in line. But that's sort of the way, sometimes they say you're not a test cricketer until you've been dropped from test cricket. Now, did I just say that and make it up? And that maybe isn't a saying, potentially. But everyone gets dropped. Yep. And then they either come back or they don't. But if you throw this kid confidence in, young, dumb, full of runs, and let him score, let him get the thing done, and then, if he fucking falls off the boil.
Which he probably will, if you're going off history.
Yeah.
Sure, it doesn't matter as long as we get the win against India. That needs to be kept at the front of all minds. We've lost the last 2 series that they've played in Australia. I'm not including the Indian series, obviously.
No, it's a new toy stuff.
That's not good enough. That's not good enough. The rest of the side, I think, is perfectly balanced. Travis Head at 5's the go. Big Mitchy Marsh at 6, that's the go. Smudge at 4, that's the go. Labra needs to get a fucking his act together at 3.
He needs a lot of runs. He needs a lot of runs. He needs a shitload of runs.
He needs to be on his knees praying to the big fella above to start giving him more runs again because he's been dry as a bloody...
Old Jats biscuit, mate.
Yeah. Probably better than the one I was going to say. So then you need to replace Smudge at the top. And I think you're going to pick a young, dumb, full of runs cricketer who's just gone ton and threatens, Tom, to go ton against Victoria this weekend.
It'd be so horny to see just a young kid.
Imagine if he went ton, and then ton.
Well, what, 6 straight tons?
Yep.
You'd have to pick him then, wouldn't you?
You have to.
You'd have to.
You'd have to.
You'd fucking have to, dude. I don't want to hear another word about it.
Team Konstas.
But anyway, listen, it's just good stuff. Now we're in that that shield bat off situation. You know, when you're coming into the summer, there's a spot free, maybe 1, maybe 2. In this instance, it seems like there's just 1 spot, and we've got a bit of a bat off brewing.
We've got a bat off. I love watching a bat off, dude.
Yeah, dude. I listen, with our new TV in there, like the fucking shield is just going to be getting pumped over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Has to. Well, there's a bat off going on, Tom. So of course the shield's going to be on.
Can't be missing a good, honest Australian summer bat off.
Have we missed anything, Tobler?
Did you watch the Bathurst at all?
I did watch a bit of it. It was
I got back and it was over.
The guy led from start to finish, Kostecki. It was
the guy that won the shootout.
Yeah.
Well, that's boring.
So that's only the 5th pairing this century to claim the crown from pole position.
Really?
Yeah.
This as in since the turn of the century? I assume that's
so 24 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're also the first team to do under 6 hours. Like, it's the fastest time ever set.
Yeah.
Really?
It was quick. You would assume it's going to keep getting quicker though, right? Like, that's sort of just not necessarily every year that it will be quicker because it's conditions, but like generally speaking.
Well, times hadn't really changed in a while until they redid the track, and then it got really quick. As in, like
they didn't have a safety car until the 130th lap. I assume that has something to do with it, right? Because they'll have to slow down to 80 Ks when the safety car's out.
Is that right? How many laps do they do? 180 or something?
161, I believe.
161. There's usually a fuckload of safety cars.
Yeah, I think there was maybe only one.
And so the safety car closes the gap on them all because they have to come back into position. And so
I do like that.
They ended up winning by 2 seconds.
Yeah, I do like that. It's just you're sort of watching it. If you're someone like us, you're just waiting for it. You're wanting a fuck up. So they bring them all back together, and you're like, okay, it's really close, but it's not it's not really close like you're in a sprint. Like where you're all in lanes next to each other, it's like this guy can just fucking stay in front of the people.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's hard to overtake.
So you're needing something fucked up to happen, or at least, Anyway, well done to Bragg Stecky. No, the other one was Jai Opetaia, dude. So he fought who did he fight yesterday? He fought this English dude whose name escapes me, but this guy went the distance at heavyweight with Joseph Parker. He's come down to cruiserweight to fight Jai. And
Jack Massey.
Jai beat the fuck out of him, dude. Like, he's want to throw the towel in like the 6th round. Absolutely fucking worked him. Dude, he is so good. The commentator's like, this is the best he's ever looked. It's fucking insane.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, they was sucking him from the back. It was, his punches, he hits so hard. He's so ripped. He's jacked as shit. He looks terrifying. But it was a good watch. He fucked this guy up. And now there's like 2 cruiserweights fighting for a belt maybe next week or next month, and then he's going to maybe fight the winner of those two. But we've got a serious world-class big dog on our hands.
His
Love
record's
that.
26-0 with 20 KOs.
20 KOs is absurd. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. He's a badass.
We're due another world champ.
We are due another world champ.
Don't you reckon?
Fucking oath.
I know.
Well, he is a world champ.
Is Tim Zoo technically one as well?
Did he get given one?
Did he get given one recently? I think he might have. I could be wrong.
But no, Jai's IBO, I think, cruiserweight world champion, 2-time. But yeah, I think
More
he's gonna
belts.
go for
More
all
belts.
them belts. More belts, please.
Could you two just not talk anymore?